it is Mrs. P. Today is Monday, but happy Tuesday, because that's when you'll be seeing this. Had a great day today. I'm in a great mood. I don't know. We had some things going on at work last week that just kind of put lots of tension and negativity in the air, and it was all cleared out today, and so it just makes things so much better. I do not like when things are negative, and I don't like confrontation and conflict, and I just feel so much better just knowing it's all resolved and things are good. The kids were good. We're reading a great book. I'm kind of venturing off the curriculum path of what I'm supposed to be reading to the class, and we're reading The Outsiders. We're one chapter in, and the kids are loving it. They're working together in groups like they've never done before. I'm just so happy with them. So anyway, I am here to do my February monthly overview. And it is not, guys, just because we paid off debt doesn't mean everything kind of goes as planned. Of course, we still have debt. And I don't know. I'm having to tweak the budget, and to me, that's part of it. Is when you budget, it's ever evolving because things happen. Life happens. Your finances change. Your circumstances change. And so you'll see it's not a lot of changes, but I am taking out the vacation savings for now. And that's just because I have to prioritize other things. And when I looked at, the list of things that I'm taking money away from debt, from paying on debt, vacation is definitely at the bottom of the list. We have plenty to do at home. We have plenty to do in our town. We don't always have to go somewhere to have fun. We have a camper. We have land that is family land that we can camp on. The only thing is it is so remote that there's like no cell service, no hookups for, like, we have to use a generator. There's no, it's not as easy to camp, but we can camp, and it is nice to get away like that sometimes. But anyway, I'm here to do the monthly overview. This is my calendar. I used to use like a 2-page spread where it like covered 2 pages, but I found that I don't need that much space in the boxes, and I like to just be able to have like a quick glance at one page and see it all. So I do it on one page. I print these. These are freebies off of printacalendar.com. So anybody has access to them. You can kind of customize them to do portrait instead of landscape. You can make numbers big or small. You can make your grid lines darker. You can make your week start at Monday. But I have never been a person who liked a calendar that went Monday through Sunday. I don't know, it messes me up. I have to see it like how it's supposed to be. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and highlight first so that I can go ahead and get that done. I do use the highlighter method. This is something that the budget mom uses. I kind of did it way before I'd ever even watched any budget videos on YouTube. It was just something that made sense to me because we've always been paid weekly or bi-weekly. We have been there before. Our budget does start, let me go ahead and write this, on the 30th of January for February. And so I have to include those 2 days out of January. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight here. So we go from Thursday to Wednesday. And my pens are going to be not cooperative today. Then I feel like for February, we're only going to have 4 weeks instead of 5. I like 4-week months just because it's easier to plan for. When you have that 5th week, I don't know, it just throws, to me, it throws a little bit of like a wrench in my plans because I have an extra week of groceries, an extra week of, all the other stuff. But this budget will end on the 26th of February, so we'll have 2 days of February in March. And I haven't looked that far ahead, But we, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we should have about 4 weeks, but eventually we'll have a 5-week month. All right. So that's the first thing I do is I designate where our paydays fall. I am paid monthly, but I roll my money over from week to week. My husband is paid weekly. So I'm going to go ahead and write in all of our categories. Our mortgage, most of our bills, well, they all are due on the 1st, but when the 1st falls on the weekend, they usually pull it out the day before. So I'm going to go ahead and write mortgage here. So we have mortgage. I have not been able to spell all day today. Mortgage, truck. My car is actually due on the 31st, but it comes out of my check. I'd never see the money there. Wells Fargo. That is due on the 1st. Farm Bureau. Microsoft. The ortho. We did not pay that off yet. We owe like a payment and a half, and then it'll be gone. All right, so that's all the bills for the 1st of the month. All right, then we've got Google, which is Google Storage. On the 5th, we've got my car wash. And oh man, has that been handy lately with all the mud. When you live in the South and you live on a dirt road, after it freezes and snows and melts and then rains, you get nothing but mud. No matter how much you put gravel down, it is just a mess. All right, Tidal, that's like a music app my husband's using now instead of Apple Music. We've got Life 360, Mr. P Hobby on the 9th. I guess I was going to zoom you through this, but looks like I'm just going to talk you through this. Robot. I have noticed that our bills are becoming less and less because we are canceling subscriptions that we don't need or use and paying off debt. So that's nice. Netflix. We've got power, which I really, really, really dread the power bill. The January bill is always the highest. Well, it'll be January's power, but we get it in February. And that is notoriously, if you look back 10 years of our power bill, that month is always the highest, Verizon. And so it's kind of like everybody's, when we get our power bills, it's like on Facebook, everybody's like, how much was yours? How much was yours? Mine was higher than yours. Like we all compare. Then we've got on the 26th, my student loan. And Apple Storage. And then on the 27th, we'll be paid. So we'll have 2 bills, YouTube Premium and Mr. P Hobby. That will be paid off of the, it'll be for, gosh, what month comes after March? March's payments. And YouTube Premium. That has come in so handy in the classroom because a lot of times I play like music for my students. They have a lot of like it doesn't have lyrics to it, but it's like current music that the kids like to listen to. So it's just what do you call it when it's just the music and no lyrics? Anyway, and then I don't have to run back and forth to my computer and skip the ads. So I am loving YouTube Premium in the classroom. All right, so that is my monthly overview. And this is what I use when I'm going through and doing my weekly budget. Now, I do make mistakes. I've messed up a few times. I go through and I say, okay, so this is the first week of February. These are all the bills that we have to pay. So I make sure that I budget for them in that pay period. So that's why I do this. I definitely reference this all throughout the month. All right. So the next thing I do, and the next thing I need to do, is my monthly plan. All right. So I'm going to write down all of the bills and all of the amounts that we budget for them. So this is for February 2025. And we've got first for Mr. P. I am writing hobby again. I don't know why I do that. I guess because I write that more than anything else. Mr. P, this is his paycheck. I'm going to say $4,000. Mrs. P, $34.85 is what I expect in February. And then other, we are expecting $760. And that includes some side work that my husband has planned. He's got a wedding to do and a dance to do with his DJ stuff. So it could come in higher than that. I did it on the low side because I don't know what things he might need to purchase out of the money that he gets paid. So it's not all profit. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And that also includes payments that other people make to us for their phone bills and things like that. And you will notice that my son's insurance is not on here. He is taking over that. So I do still have their phones. Everybody's phone is on our plan, but insurance is not. So first we have our mortgage. And it has not gone up. We did go in the deficit with our escrow. So I anticipate the mortgage going up. But I don't know. I think last year it went up over the summer. So that's when I'm expecting it to change. Farm Bureau, and that's going to go up a little bit. I do not know how much because we have added the Gator to Farm Bureau and taken it off of Geico. So that one's gone. All right, Microsoft. I do pay for this for my daughter, but she loses part of her allowance to cover this. All right, then we've got Google Storage, and that's $3. Car wash. You should see the lines at the car wash lately. It is insane. Tidal. I don't know if this is something he's going to keep indefinitely over the Apple Music. It is more expensive, but he needs it for the DJ stuff. Live 360 is $9. Mr. P's Hobby, more DJ stuff, $61. iRobot, $32. Netflix, $17. Power, okay, so I've looked, they have not posted our power bill for February. So I don't know, but I did look back at the previous years, and I am going to say $500. I think it might actually even be higher, but I feel like I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. We'll adjust as needed. All right, Spotify is going to be $13. Hulu is $22. So we are down to 2 TV apps, and I'm so proud of ourselves that we've always had multiple TV apps. Verizon is $4.35. With the TV apps, we do get Paramount Plus included with our Walmart Plus subscription. So Apple Storage is $10. YouTube Premium is $25. And Mr. P Hobby is $49. All right, so bill total. Let me just double check. This looks like not very much. Let me just count real quick. Yep, 17 bills. Okay, all right, so this adds up to be $2,600. Okay, so now we're going to go down to our savings. And I spent all day, no, not all day. I spent a good part of the day tweaking and redoing numbers. I increased sinking funds because my husband is going to be having to pay for extra prescriptions. So I increased sinking funds to $820. And savings still looks like a lot, but I have to save for the wedding, and I have to save for buffing up our emergency fund because we did dip into it. I also have to make sure that we have money for summer. So I have to do all of those things and make sure those things are safe. So that's a priority, even over debt. Okay. Because I don't want to add more debt because we're not prepared for those things, because they're going to happen. We're going to get the wedding and we're going to have summer where I don't get paid. Now, I have been thinking about maybe doing some other like work over the summer. I've even thought about like, I don't know, tutoring or something like that over the summer, since summer school is no longer a thing. Like, I know there's probably going to be people who would like to have help with their child and their, work over the summer, like trying to, kids fall behind, and not that I want to blame COVID for, anything or everything, but there are a lot of learning gaps, and especially in math. Now, reading, I feel like it's kind of like worked itself out. But I still see a lot of deficits in math, and I don't even teach math anymore. But, yeah. So, anyway, that's just a thought. Maybe I could tutor. All right, so these are our variable expenses. These are things that we will pull cash out so that we can stay on budget. And so far, we are pretty good in this area. Now, it has taken a long time for us to get good in this area, especially groceries. Now, when I say I used to be really, really bad about overspending in the grocery store, I'm not even kidding. Like, some women like to buy shoes and purses, clothes, those sort of things, house stuff, like, decorations for the house. Mine was groceries. And I don't know, like, I wasn't raised in a home where we were like, there was like no food, we had food. So it wasn't that. I don't know why I have this fear of not having enough food. But I do. It's just this internal thing, and it's been really hard for me to turn it off. All of my daughter's friends love coming to our house. They say that we have the best food in our house. We buy lots of, good snacks, and I don't know. And it surprises me how many of her friends, they don't have parents who cook. They like eat out all the time. I don't know how people afford that. So eating out, I'm going to say 0. So in February, we have my brother's birthday, my baby brother, and we have Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day, we are saving for in a separate challenge, like holidays. And my brother's birthday, we are also saving for birthdays in a challenge. So if we eat out for either of those things, that's what we're going to do. We also have a gift card, actually 2 gift cards, one for a Mexican restaurant, one for a really nice sit-down restaurant. And so those are options also. So no eating out other than if we use our below money to do that. All right, gas, I'm going to leave at $2.80. That has been working really well. I've not gone over on gas. And then unbudgeted, I have to leave this line because I don't want, I need something to put that there if something comes in. So this section is $14.10. I feel very chatty for some reason. I told you I was in a good mood, and I just talk when I'm happy. All right, so ortho, I would like to get this paid off, but I'm going to go ahead and just plan for the regular $88 payment. She does have one more appointment with the orthodontist in March, I think, and it's to get her permanent retainer. Right now she's got a temporary retainer to let her gums and everything heal before they put the permanent one on, and allow her to go get her teeth cleaned and, everything prepped and ready for that permanent retainer. So it'll be paid off by then anyway. So $75 for Wells Fargo. We've got ortho, truck, Wells Fargo, and student loan. And those are our 4 debts that we are working on, consumer debts, and then Snowball. All right, so this is what happened with the Snowball. So when I was going through our savings and what we needed to apply toward, saving up for things that are going to happen. And I am going to say that birthdays and holidays falls in a priority list, because there's no way I'm going to let a holiday go by that we don't do some little something for Valentine's Day or for Easter. It may not be big, but it's going to be something. And birthdays, I'm going to buy gifts for my family. It's just who I am and what I do. So I want to save for those things so that I'm not tempted to put it on a credit card. I did take out vacation, and the vacation money, which was the $200, is going to be what our Snowball is and a little extra. So $234, that's a very small amount, and I know that. But until we get this wedding funded and we get the summer funded, I have to make sure those things get done. So that is my justification. I'm also saving for medical, like health stuff, because I don't know if my husband's going to end up having to have surgery. I don't know if he's going to have additional tests. He's got things going on with his eyes. He's got things going on with his hands. So I want to be prepared for that. So, okay, so this section totals $1,365. Now, if extra money comes in, I will put some towards Snowball, but I will also put some toward some kind of vacation. It's not going to be a big fancy vacation. It's going to be, a week at a national park somewhere. All right, so next is our just where we get have this little what do you call it? Like a snapshot of all of these numbers all in one place. So total income, which I didn't even write it up here, I forgot, was $82.65. No, I looked at that wrong. $82.45. All right, so $82.45 is the income. So I'll move that down here to this box. So $82.45. Our bill total was $2,600. Our variable total was $1,410. Our savings total was $28.70, and our debt total was $13.65. And when I was looking at these numbers, I was thinking about these different groups and categories. The fact that our savings is larger than what our bills are, and our variable and our debt kind of makes me super happy, because I know that if everything went wrong, we have almost $3,000 to throw at something. Now, part of me wants to put it towards the debt and just get that done, but then I'm scared we won't be prepared for the future. So I don't know. It's I'm at a loss for words, but I just don't know if I'm doing the right thing by doing that or not, but that's the way I feel like it should be done, so that's what we're doing. So this section adds up to be $82.45, leaving us with 0 to roll over. Hopefully this will come in higher, because I hope the income comes in higher. That way everything will work out, and we'll get even further along in our debt journey. All right, so last thing I'm going to do is just do our sinking fund breakdown. And this is so I can just at a glance see what each category gets for the month. I mainly need this for the next month when I'm planning. Okay, that was if you see that you're falling short in a certain category. For example, if I see that I'm not budgeting enough for medical, I can always up that. Beauty, I can adjust that. So this is where, you kind of play with the numbers a little bit. This section very rarely changes because it works for us. We're at numbers that are realistic. Because I remember trying to say, okay, I'm only going to spend $75 on groceries, and then I would get to the grocery store, and then I would go over the grocery budget, and then I would feel like a failure. And so I just needed to be realistic. budgeting $75 is not realistic for our family. So anyway, $600 for the month in groceries, $80 for pets, $80 for household. Mr. P, he gets his $100. I get my $210. Miss P is going to get $60 because she has extra things she's paying for. Eating out, nothing, and gas, $280. All right, so this section, like I said before, was $14.10. Now, these are more short-term savings. We've got beauty, which is going to get $80. Medical is where I went way up on it. It's going to get $250. Sports still gets the $100. Nothing for family fun, nothing for Sam's because those are funded other ways. Pool supplies is going to get its $20. Nothing for clothing right now, and garbage, it gets its $15. So this section is $465. All right, then I go over, these are our more long-term savings. So we've got subscriptions, it's going to get $20. I did go down on that because I'm not renewing Amazon. So I know that I'm not going to have to pay that $100 and whatever dollars it is in March. I do have enough to pay for the Sam's renewal in March, and I'm saving for the Walmart Plus. So those are the 2 yearly subscriptions that I'm planning on keeping right now. All right, propane, I did go up. I did $10 last month. I decided to do $15 this month. Camping, we fund other ways. School supplies, I'm going to do $20. Vet, I went down because right now we are fully funded for like a typical regular vet visit. But I did want to continue to build that up just in case there's some kind of a sickness with the dog or cat. All right, car tags is still going to get $40. Car maintenance is going to get $80. And home maintenance is going to get $160. All right, so then I go down here. This is our savings. So, oh, this is not the right one. I updated this, but this was already printed out prior. So I'm going to actually mark these out because they are no longer like how I break it down. All right, so we've got randomizer, and we have senior year. We've got vacation, health, summer, wedding. Everything else is the same. So I could have just deleted these two rows. All right, so randomizer is going to get $320. Last month it got $400, so I did drop this down because the randomizer has holidays, birthdays, things like that in it, and so I'm just going to go down in that category. So instead of $100 a week, it's going to get $80 a week. Senior year is going to get $50. Vacation gets nothing right now. That makes me sad, but it is necessary. I've got to prioritize other areas. All right, health savings is going to get its $200. Summer savings gets $400. Christmas is going to get $200. Wedding is going to get $400. And I'm going to put a little asterisk here because the wedding is not going to get like taken out in cash. It's going to be completely straight to the high yield savings account. Emergency fund is going to get $240. So I went up with the emergency fund. YouTube or mini Mondays, I went down. Last month I did 50 a week. This time I'm going to do 40 a week because again, those are just smaller categories that are not a priority. And then YouTube Hop is going to get its 80 because the YouTube Hop also funds some of these other categories. That's the same with the mini Monday. There's wedding on there. There's summer savings on there, like all those things. So that is that. I forgot to put the total up here. This section was $355 and this section is $2,050. All right, what I didn't do was the monthly total. So let me add these up. $465, $355, and $2,050. So that's $4,280, which is roughly about half of our income. So I know that if all things go wrong and we have to have surgery, my husband has to have like time off from work or whatever, this is the area that goes first because we don't need these things yet, and we'll just cross that bridge when we get there. But everything else, I feel like we need to budget for. Okay. All right. That is all I have for you today. I think I'm looking around. I kind of feel unprepared for some reason. I do have my candle here. It's still smelling delicious. I've got Nick in there. I wonder how many people watch my channel and have no idea why I have a nickel in the wax. But there he is. And I will tag the video where I dropped Nick in the candle. All right, friends. That is all. I hope you can't see all that smoke. I will get off here. I've got to work on my checking in with my last week of January so that I can get all the numbers correct and everything, figured up so that I can do my debt update and all the things that come with that. But I just wanted to make sure this video was done because we start a new budget, a new month on Thursday. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day and I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.